right, we're good.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thank y'all for coming. We've got a packed house tonight. That's always a good thing, so we appreciate each and every one of you coming. The first thing we want to do is open up in prayer. So if you will, bow your head with me. Dear Lord Jesus, thank you for another meeting where we can all gather and learn and fellowship. Be with us during this election time, Lord, this special, unique election. Give us all discernment and guidance. Be with all of our prayer requests and needs, Lord. And we just thank you for all the many blessings you give us. And ask that you would continue to be with us and carry us forward. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Next thing we're going to do is have our sheriff, our Republican sheriff, Darren Pierce.
Ready, salute, pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hoorah. Next order of business, we always like to recognize and honor our veterans. So if you're a veteran, can you stand and raise your hand, please? We'd like to thank you. Thank you all for y'all's service. Next thing I like to do is recognize current elected government officials. So if you're one of our local officials, if you can just raise your hand or wave at us. We got Commissioner Thomas here. We got our sheriff, of course, and I know Jevon's here. Thank you. We have any what's your name?
Dennis Mock.
Dennis Mock, that's right. Okay. Brain fart. And then I'd like to, do we have any other local?
I can't.
Is that all? Next thing I want to do is recognize our board. Vice Chairman is Eddie Caldwell. He's somewhere here. It's hard to see people, we're so proud. That's a good thing. Eddie's back there. He's our past chair.
Forget doing stuff like that,
Our
so.
first vice chair.
Tell me, Jennifer,
Diane
move your
Putnam
butt.
is our second vice chair and a past chair. Renee Baker is our secretary. Lisa Adams is our media secretary, and she's live streaming for us. And then James Smith, he couldn't make it tonight, but he's our treasurer. He's out of town. And then we have Gavin Swafford, our assistant treasurer. So thank y'all for being here. One other thing I like to also do, any precinct chairs, if you could just stand or raise your hand. Thank y'all for y'all's service. We'll get into things quick. There's one thing I do want to talk about. You probably see the sign right here or some of the others. There's a bill that was sponsored last year. It's called House Bill 211. It's going to be coming to a vote this year as well. It's a little bit different this year. But what it essentially does, as most of you are familiar with the PFAS issue that's going on, the forever chemicals around this area. It's really bad, to be honest with you. What this bill does, that was sponsored by every single one of our local reps in this area, it grants broad immunity to the polluters that polluted our land, our water, our air, and it says the individuals are not allowed to sue against them. The new bill, it's worded a little differently, but if you look into it, it's pretty much the same thing. So I'm against that. I know our whole board is against that. So with that being said, I have drafted a letter. If you all want to read these letters, I have copies out front. It's pretty much just opposition to this bill. And it's just written out. You can address it to your state representative or senator and then sign it. And if you want to leave additional handwritten comments, you can do that too. So I just want to mention that's going on right now. We need to be aware of that bill. And in general too, we also have a legislative watch committee. If you're interested in helping us track legislation in general on the local and state levels, let us know. That's something we're wanting to do as well.
Does our rep support HB 211?
All of our local reps sponsored this bill and support it, yes.
Our rep was the first sponsor on it, Casey Carpenter.
Yes.
What is the basic tenet of the bill? I know you've said it before, but I'm very slow. Something next stage of life.
I can't, what'd you say?
You need to tell it to me like I'm 4 years old.
What was the bill?
Yeah.
What did it say, basically?
The bill grants immunity to the polluters of our local land, air, water, and even blood for individuals suing for damages caused by these companies.
So, I have a dyslexia, thinking dyslexia. That's why I'm in this chair, because my brain doesn't communicate with my muscles properly. So what you're basically saying, and please forgive me, all of you, I don't mean to be wasting your time, but what you're basically saying, with this bill, the polluters will not be immune.
The bill makes them immune
Our bill makes them immune.
from individual lawsuits.
So what is the benefit to the general public?
That's the question.
That's the issue we
So
have.
we're in opposition to that bill.
Right.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Yes, sir.
Sorry,
And these things can be complicated. It's purposeful.
McCray, if y'all want to get with me afterwards and get some statistics on Whitfield County, I can give you those.
Yeah, if you want statistics about PFAS, get with Lisa. She's very familiar with that. I just wanted to mention that to y'all, let that be on your radar. And if you want to look at the letter we got out there on the front. Casey Carpenter, Steve Tarvin, Jason Ridley.
Matt Barton, yeah.
Reps, and then
Matt Barton and Mike Cameron.
And Mike Cameron. There are other near us reps. So. But we can, if you have questions, please go to Lisa, and I'll answer any others afterwards. I just wanted y'all to be aware of that. It is very important.
And there's pictures of all the representatives and their contact
Yes.
on the wall, right, when you walk in the door.
Yes, thank you, Diane. Well, I want to get straight into this. We've got quite a few congressional candidates here tonight, and that's not even the main point of our meeting. So we have a lot, though, so I'm going to allow them to get a few minutes. So I don't really have a specific order we're going to do this. Does anyone want to volunteer to speak first? Come on, Nick. One of our local guys. And I will say this, our secretary Renee is going to be keeping a timer, and if we get to that 3-minute mark, she's just going to put up our hand. We've got so many, we've got to be careful with the time. So go ahead.
Hey everyone, it's quite a crowd here this evening, which is great to see. I'm proud to be here this evening. Most of you may know me, my name is Nicky Lama. I've been involved since 2008 with our GOP. My grandfather had a painter, he got me involved, and ever since I've had deep roots here. Born and raised in Dalton, I'm proud to say that I put my name in for the Georgia 14th Congressional Special Election to replace Marjorie. I'm a local business owner, and there's obviously like 20 people running for this election. It's going to take 2 minutes to scroll down the ballot and try to figure out which one of these candidates am I going to support, or to find the one that you are supporting. How are you going to differentiate me from everybody else? I'm a local business owner. I wrote my first payroll check at 18, right out of high school. I started my own company. I started in construction, went to real estate, started investing in properties here locally. From there, it just kind of grew. I have a farm now. I'm in aviation, starting an aviation charter company. I'm a pilot. I got my truck driver's license, my Class A CDL, so I've been driving semis. I've just been very involved, and I work for what I want. I'm a hard worker, and there's no doubt about that. Anybody that knows me has seen my work ethic firsthand. There's 24 hours in a day. I say you got to use all of them wisely. I've been involved with politics my whole life, and it's just been a blessing to be able to step up. I don't want to see another politician go to D.C. We need someone that's a business leader, someone that's going to look at our budget responsibly, spend our taxpayer dollars wisely, and take care of our community. We need a representative that's from here to represent our community at the Georgia 14th Congressional District. So I'd love to earn y'all's support. I'll be taking questions after this meeting. I'll stay around, and I look forward to talking to each and every one of you. My name is Nicky Lama. Appreciate it.
Do we have another volunteer to go next among the candidates?
Hey, I'll go with that. Everybody's being shy, they're all standing over in the corner.
Come on up.
Hi, everybody, my name is James Brown. I'm a Whitfield County resident, and no, I don't sing or dance. So I actually go by Marty, so anybody can call me Marty. That's where everybody knows me by. I've been in Whitfield County since 1984, and I grew up here. Of course, went to Northwest Whitfield, graduated from Dalton State. got in fire service. I've been a firefighter for 34 years. I went full-time down to the city of Smyrna in 2005, got my paramedic. And as of last year, I got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Bless the Lord, He's healed me now. I'm cancer-free, but it cost me my career, which I'm not going to the doctor every day now. I wasn't really doing a whole lot, except running my little boat shop in Tulsa Hill. And somebody came to me, like, you need to run for Congress. And I was like, I do? They're like, yeah, you need to run. You know, we looked at the candidates, they're like, you got as good a background as anybody else. I was like, you're good. So here I am. We're running for Congress. And you know, if you think about it, I've been in emergency services. I've been serving the people of Northwest Georgia for 34 years. That's what I am. I'm a public servant. It's called servant leadership is what I'm going for here. I've been serving. I was a lieutenant in the fire department, so I was already a leader. I had people that worked under me and followed my direction on everything. And, you know, as servant leadership, you have to realize that you're here and you're an employee of the citizens. Whether you're in city government, whether you're a policeman, fireman, whatever, you're an employee of the citizen. You're there for the citizens. So that's a big thing that I'm all about. I'm a huge supporter of law enforcement. I've worked side by side with them for 34 years. They've saved my butt a few times. I love the Second Amendment. The law enforcement officers have saved my butt a few times. I went in on some calls and they're like, oh, no, back hold up, scene's not safe yet. And all of a sudden there's bullets flying and I'm hiding behind an 80,000-pound fire truck. You know? We try to avoid those situations, but sometimes things happen. But that's pretty much my little short spiel. I'll be around. I got a website, check it out, brownforga.com. If you have any questions, all my contact info's on there. I've got some cards, and I'll be around, so come meet me. Thank you.
Would you like to come up, Mr. Stabler?
Yeah, I would.
I'm gonna start calling on people, I guess.
We're waiting on the chairman to make that decision.
Good evening, I'm Brian Stover, living down in Polo County. I decided to run, 5 years ago, they tried to get me to step up and run, get the problem grade, let me step down, and I decided not to, because I had an 11-year-old daughter, and I wasn't gonna miss her growing up, so now the time's come, and I just want to tell everybody about myself. So, at 11 years old, I went to work in my aunt and uncle's restaurant, bussing table, washing dishes. Had a job, except for about 3 months out of my whole life. My dad made me stop one summer and help him actually re-roof some of his rental houses. So, at the age of 19, I came home from work on Friday afternoons and I started picking up people's trash. And I've grown my business down to about 100 employees. Do more than just trash. I got different companies that I've grown in. As far as a transfer station, I got like a scrap yard, a lot of stuff that has to do with construction and demolition. Do a lot of recycling now, stuff like that. But in 2018, I decided to run for commissioner in Paulding County. I saw a need. The county was being torn apart from an airport deal. If any of y'all remember all that stuff that went on, I decided to stop because it split our county apart. So I ran, I won. Within 12 months, we had the issue, the lawsuits put to bed. I was at the table with the city of Atlanta and Delta's attorneys. So we fought that fight for years. And within 12 months, I was part of the ones that went in and settled it. Basically, the county was suing the airport. The county was suing the county. And I got so tired of seeing what was going on. Because, you know, as far as for economic development, nobody would want to come to our county because it was just, business is not going to come to a county when the county commissioners are fighting. They just don't want to do it. But, I know I'm missing a lot because I don't like talking about myself, to tell you the truth, but I give back a lot to the community, and that's what I want to do here. You know, I don't know, there's a place called McKenna Farms. If you look it up, 2011, there was a big need. They do hippotherapy for special needs kids. In 2011, I found out that they needed an indoor riding arena, and I donated them a 10,000 square foot metal building so that they could have an indoor riding arena. So my heart has always been for kids and giving back to the community, and that's what I'm gonna do here. I wanna go to DC, share my experience with business, and help President Trump to stop, cut costs, eliminate waste, hopefully, help with the housing crisis that we have. As a first-time home buyer now is 40 years old, and I'm gonna do something about it. I've been saying for years about 40-year mortgages. Makes me cringe when I say that, don't get me wrong, but we gotta do something to make these things a little bit more affordable. But it's not just making the payment affordable, it's making the, working on taxes and insurance also. Taxes is hard to do because we're at a local level, but as far as, I'd like to see public education cut. I mean, anything that's been pushed down through the state to the county level, cut out programs that have been mandated by federal government, federal dollars to help maybe soften some costs. The majority of property taxes is school tax. And I mean, my escrow went up $500 in the last. Well, I'm over my time, I'm sorry, but I'll be here, I'll talk to y'all, tell y'all more about what I want to do. Brian Scott.
Let's see, I believe we have Bo Brown here. Is he here, Ryan? You wanna come up here and speak? Come on up.
I'll hide from you.
You got the floor.
I think everybody's jockeying to go last. Good evening, guys. My name is Bo Brown. I'm from Rome, Georgia. I'm a father. I'm a husband, and I'm a blue-collar guy. I was raised on a blue-collar, with a blue-collar family. My dad still works to this day. You may see his truck up here in Northwest Georgia. He is in the concrete foundation business, helping in Brown Construction. Does a lot of work with Felker, so you guys may know who Felker is. Just want to say I'm just like you. I'm an everyday American, running as the founders intended it. We need someone like me in Washington, or someone like Nikki, someone who's not from the political fray, someone who's not from the elite class. I'm not wealthy. I put up my own money today, down in Atlanta. I'm running on my own convictions. I believe that when someone gives you a job, you work hard, you figure it out, good things happen. And that's what I want to do for this district. I want to make good things happen for District 14. I am from Rome, Georgia, but I've worked all over this district as a risk manager, loss control, helping business owners and C-suite level executives protect their assets and protect the property that they, the livelihood of their business out of. So you may have seen me. There may be some business owners that have seen me, but I'm no one special. But I'm running to make a difference, and be rest assured, we need someone who's going to fight the radical left. We need someone that's going to stand up for President Donald Trump. And I'll tell you right now, I voted for Donald Trump in 2016. I voted for him in 2020 when they stole the election. I voted for him in 2024. I'd vote for him again. There's an old saying, it's not about what you have, it's about what you do with what you have. And I've been doing a lot with a lot less. And if you guys get behind me, there's no telling what we can accomplish. So please go to BoBrownForCongress.com, check me out. I'll be in Rome, Georgia, where I'm from. I'll be doing a veterans meet and greet Friday from 5 to 8 downtown Rome at Alibi Prohibition and Bar. And I'm looking forward to meeting veterans. I didn't get to serve, but I have the utmost respect and admiration for those who did, just like most people here. And I want to be a champion for them in Congress. And BoBrownForCongress.com, check me out, and look forward to taking any questions after this. So thank you guys.
How about Mr. Tom Gray? You want to come up and speak to us?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
My name is Tom Gray, and it's a privilege to get to be here tonight. And I'm the pastor of a church is what I do. And I'm running for Congress for the most simple and basic reasons you can possibly imagine. I just love this country to the core of my being. My father was a West Point grad, an Army Ranger, a Vietnam vet. I was raised on the motto of West Point, which is duty, honor, country. Of course, I'm a believer in God. I'm a believer in our nation. I'm a believer in its founding. And I am very clear that the present and the future are worth fighting for. I believe we're at a crossroads, a critical crossroads. I think we're on the brink of perhaps even losing our identity, losing our soul as one nation under God. And if we do, we'll lose our future. Yes, I'm a husband, a father of 3, including my oldest son, who is an Air Force pilot, flies a C-146. Got 2, my other 2 are in college. My Air Force pilot son has also made me now a grandfather, a 1.5-year-old. I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about policy, positions afterwards, but I'd probably really light up if you want to ask me about my grandson. And the second one is on the way. And that's why I'm running. You know, depending on which historian you read, the shelf life of a great civilization is somewhere around 250 years. And some of you noticed that this year will be our 250th birthday as a nation. I just don't believe we can sit idly by and watch it decline. I believe with the right focus and with a fresh and disciplined approach to reapplying those founding principles, we can build a better future for our kids and grandkids. I believe this nation is the greatest nation in the history of the world because it was built on those founding principles. You want to know who I am? I'm a conservative's conservative. I'm what I would label a pure conservative, which to me means those principles that are biblically rooted. That's where they came from. Our founders didn't pull them out of thin air. They had biblical convictions that formed and shaped how they founded this, which has given each of us the most amazing country. Others have fought and died for it all through our history. I've lived my life investing according to those principles as the pastor of this church. We started with 11 people in our living room. We are over 700 now, and I promise you, you cannot be the pastor of a church like that without being fiscally responsible and conservative. We have a $2.5 million budget at our church now, and we are completely debt-free, including the over 5,000 square foot facility we're about to put in behind our main space. So, on day one as congressman, I'll introduce a bill that eliminates our national debt and fixes the economy. Wow. Obviously, you know that's not possible, right? But what I will do is show up every day and apply those principles with unwavering conviction and discipline to build the future I know we want and desperately crave for our children and grandchildren. Thank you very much.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Jim Tully. If you haven't met me, most of you have met me before. Hey, Star. I am the past GOP chairman of Paulding County and the past district chairman of the mighty 14th Congressional District. Been involved in the Republican Party since about 2006. Excuse me. I'm like everybody in this room. I lost my parents. I lost my mother in 1973, and I lost my father in 1975. And you people raised me. When it takes a village, I landed in a village, and the village took care of me. And here I am. The young men and women I went to high school with, their parents made sure I was in church. They made sure I was fed. They made sure I had clothes on. They made sure I had everything I needed and didn't cross the proverbial railroad tracks. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. This is your congressional seat. It's no one else's. This congressional seat belongs to the community. Here's what's at stake. Republicans are notorious for doing something other than voting, right? Let's be honest with one another. I'm going to tell you the truth. If I do anything tonight, I'm going to tell you the truth. These factions that we hear in the Republican Party are nonsense, and it's time for that to be over. If you're an American in this room, raise your hand.
Amen.
Right on?
Yes.
Okay. Every one of us have the responsibility to put a check mark in that box to save this nation. Because you know what happens if we don't? We have the largest field of candidates that Georgia's ever seen. I don't know that to be true, but it doggone sure looks like it, okay? We're committed to service. If we don't show up en masse like we did for Donald J. Trump in 2024, we're going to lose this to a Democrat. And that Democrat might on the surface be a nice guy, but you know what they do? They vote with Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries. They vote for men in women's sports. They vote for open borders. They vote for children's transgender surgeries. And they don't vote for God. Our nation is in peril. And if we don't win this special, and we don't win the midterm, we lose the majority in the House and Senate, and we lose 2 years of Donald Trump because they will impeach, impeach, impeach. The Democrat machine will come out. They will overthrow righteous, God-fearing, one nation under a God, by the people, for the people, Americans, because that's what they desire. My name's Jim Tully. I encourage you to talk to every candidate that's here. Get their number, and you have a decision to make. And you better make the right decision, because the rest of the stinking nation counts on the 14th district in Georgia, because where Georgia goes, the nation goes. Right on? I love you. God bless you.
Mrs. Starblack, would you like to come on up? I see you came in.
I'm Star Black, and a little information about me. I've lived in the 14th district for 17 years. I live in Kennesaw, Georgia. I actually was a small business owner. I was a FedEx home delivery, you know, all those little packages that everybody loves getting. I ran 64 trucks every single day. I was one of the largest contractors for FedEx. So I know how to get things done under a timeline. And so I was doing 25% of the production out of the Kennesaw terminal. So I know what it's like when you start with just one truck. And you're not sure if you're gonna get your paycheck, but you better make sure that your people get their paychecks. And I truly believe that. And that's exactly why I'm running for Congress, is because I wanna make sure you get a bigger paycheck. My background is I recently retired from FEMA after 28 years. When I show up, I'm like Jim Cantori of the Weather Channel. When I show up, it's people's worst day. They are living in chaos. And I am used to making logic out of chaos. I'm also the only candidate in this race out of, I think when I left today after qualifying, there were 19 people going to be on the ballot. We do have now 2 Democrats, 1 Libertarian, 1 Independent, and the rest of us are Republicans. I'm the only candidate that's going to be on this ballot that has federal experience. For 28 years, I worked with the other federal agencies. I know their process, and I know how to get the money out of them to get it back to Georgia so our state legislators can use the money to benefit you. I also believe we need to build up our trade schools. Because let's face it, not everybody's designed to go to college. And AI is not going to fix your HVAC system. It's not going to unplug that clog that you have. As much as I love AI, it's not going to do it. And we need to keep our young people in our cities. We don't need them moving away to do something. And we build up those trade schools, they're going to become the next entrepreneurs. Heck, they're probably making more money than those kids out of college right off the bat. They're going to become entrepreneurs. They're going to increase your tax base. They're going to want to build their families in your communities and be proud of it. We need to build that back up. The other thing is I have already signed the pledge of term limits. I do not believe, I am not running to Congress to be there forever. I know I've got 2 years to make it happen for you. And then we'll discuss the rest of it. But I'm going up with 2 years. And I use the headlines to boast what I have done, not what is the problems. And the other thing is, nobody in Congress or any elected official should be able to buy and sell stock while they're a public official. You don't have access to that, do you? No. And the last thing that I am so passionate about is creating something that nobody is talking about. And that's the Caregivers Network. How many of you are caregivers? Anybody? Okay. Anybody know anyone who's a caregiver? How many of you kind of think, well, I might be needing a caregiver here shortly? Okay. Well, we're not taking care of our caregivers. You know, 1 in 4 person either is a caregiver or needs a caregiver. That's a quarter of our population. And we need to, what I want to do with this network, it reminds me of when I was in FEMA with 9/11 happened. All these different agencies knew just a little bit about it, but nobody talked to each other. We're doing that for caregivers. You know, all these private nonprofits, these schools, these churches, the government, they all do a little bit for caregivers, but nobody's talking to each other. I was a caregiver for my husband and my mother while I was working disasters. I knew I needed help, but I couldn't find it. I didn't know where to go. And I didn't have enough hours in the day to search for it. I want to consolidate all that information in one spot so that you will know at the end of answering all those questions who to go to, what their number is, what the website is, and how much it's going to cost you. So at least you've got a starting spot. And I'm not looking to make a new Department of Homeland Security. Heaven believe me, we don't need that. I am looking to put this under the Health and Human Services. That's where it belongs. Because they do actually have an aging division. And we need to create that, and we need Georgia to be the one that makes that happen. So, Star Black, it's Star Black for Congress, pretty simple. And my little tagline is, black is going to be the new green. Thank you.
I think we're just about done with the congressional candidates.
Oh, wait, there could be 12 or 15 more.
Still time.
Sure, you got till 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Christian Hurd, speak to us for a couple minutes. Thank you.
Good evening, y'all. My name is Christian Hurd. 2 things. Pastor number 1, there's a whole bunch of Republicans running for this seat, and we all hate the national debt. Our filing fees are going to pay that off, so you're welcome. Number 2, I want to be clear, this is what I am. I'm a Republican. And whatever Republican we send up, I'm going to make sure to you, and I'm going to commit to you right now, we're all going to work together. Whatever I've got in my bank account, my campaign account, I'm going to put that Republican across the finish line. So no matter who we support, on March 10th, April 7th, we're going to get them across the finish line. So I'm a Marine. I'm very, very organized. Forgive me for my book. My name is Christian Hurd again. I've lived in this county my entire life, other than my time serving in the Marine Corps and going to the University of Georgia. My sweet little wife back there is Bailey. She's also from this county. My baby girl, my 1-year-old Eleanor, she's at home asleep right now. It's past her bedtime. This is my home. I love our nation, and I want to keep serving our nation. I'm doing this because I think the problems that we're facing are existential. And our leaders that are running this country simply don't get it. We are at a turning point. All right? We are a nation in decline. And thank heavens we have a president who is turning that around. I want to be clear that I love our president. I don't work for our president. He's the leader of our party. I respect him to the day I die. I'm a Marine. I'm an American citizen. But I don't work for him. I work for the people who are in this room. And I will always work for the people in this room. I don't think he'll ever ask me to go against our best interests, but I want you to know that if he ever asks me that, or anybody asks me that, that's not who I'm going with. I'm going with you. This is my home. This is where my people have lived for 300 years. This is not a joke to me. All right? This is my livelihood. It's my daughter's livelihood. And I'm terrified of the world we're living in. I'm in this race because I've worked on all the major national security issues in the world facing our country. I worked the Iran problem. I speak the language of Iran. I've worked the China problem. I'm the only candidate in this race that has been in Chinese missile range and had missiles pointed right at me. I'm the only candidate in this race that if I flew to Beijing today, I'd get arrested. All right? They know what I've done, and they know who the enemy is. All right? I want to be clear to you, that's our enemy. I'm going to defeat Chinese aggression wherever we find it. They hate you, and they hate what we stand for. They're using all the levers of power of their government to destroy our nation. All right? And it's time that our leaders, which I'm asking you to be your representative in Congress, understands that. Because I do not want to live in a world of dark Chinese communist dominance. That's an ugly world. That's a nasty world. And we will become a backwater. Right as of today, we're the biggest, baddest guy on the block. My commitment to you is we're going to keep that going. Today, tomorrow, and forever. So, my wife told me my 3 minutes are up. It's been an honor to be invited here tonight. I've lived here my entire life. I'm a Whitfield County resident. I went to Northwest High School. This is what I'm doing because we have a very short period of time to get this right. And I'm asking you to help me continue this service because I love our nation and I look forward to meeting all of you in this campaign. And so all these candidates, I look forward to becoming your friend as well. And if you are the one we choose, I'm going to help you. All right. See you later.
Okay.
What's his name?
Christian Hurd.
Christian Hurd. I believe that's all of the congressional candidates. Okay. We're going to shift quickly into a couple local candidates we have. We're going to do we have two commissioner candidates here. Mr. Mike Kinsey, if you want to just say a quick word about what you're running for, appreciate it. Yeah, whichever you prefer. Yeah, come on up here.
Thank you. Yes, sir. My name is Mike Kinsey, I'm in Whitfield County, Lafayette. I am currently running, and there is qualified, I intend on running for the District 1 seat, Whitfield County Commissioner. I think that there are several issues we're facing on a local level around here that needs attention. I think that we all got issues trying to pay property taxes right now, trying to make ends meet. I'm no different. Started out working right out of high school, the Dixon's Ambulance Service. So I started out working in public service then. Was in the inaugural group of people that got hired with Whitfield EMS when the county took over the EMS service here. Worked there for about 2 or 3 years, and then I went to work for Pierce State Patrol. Finished up my career there in 2002. Retired from there, and I started up a couple of small businesses here in town. Fortunately, the type of work that I'm involved in is real estate related. I rent buildings to the federal government. That's what it boils down to. I have a lot of time to do whatever needs to be done to dedicate towards what I would call probably more of a full-time job than a part-time job. And I think any of the commissioners that are here now would probably attest to that. They put in more than just that one night a week that they go to meetings. I have the time, I have the information, I have the desire to try to make our community better and try to get to a place where we can all find some common ground on how we're funding things and services. And one of the things I heard a long time ago, and I've kind of used it in my campaign, is if we want to be better, we got to do better. And that's what I'm here for. If we want to be better, we got to do better. And I'm going to try to do better. I appreciate your vote. Thank you.
And one other commissioner candidate, and that is Mr. Philip King. You'll come on out.
Thank you all for having me here tonight. My name is Philip King, as we said, and I'm also a lifelong resident of Whitfield County on the south end. I'm a lifelong Republican, at least since I've been old enough to vote. Christian, most importantly. Have a wife and 2 children. I'm a teacher. I've taught at Southeast High School. This is my 18th year. I teach primarily economics and also some government. And I don't have the same perspective as a lot of public school teachers. I want to go ahead and let you know that as Republicans, and I think especially teaching economics has given me that. I tell my students in economics class every year, entrepreneurs are some of the most vital people in our society, because without them we have nothing else, right? So I admire the business experience of all these other candidates, and also my opponent, definitely. I think teaching has given me, government and econ has given me a broad perspective on things. Teaching government, one of the things we talk to our students about a lot is, when we choose our representatives, are we choosing them as the two primary models? Are we choosing them as trustees? Are we choosing them because we trust their judgment to make decisions for us? Or are we choosing them as delegates to carry out our wishes? And of course, the truth is really we're choosing them for both, right? During the mundane, the daily work of government, we want to go about our lives and not have to worry about the details. We want to trust their judgment, right? But when the citizens show up, when the office is flooded with emails and phone calls, and when we show up to meetings, that's when we want them to turn off their personal judgment. We want them to do what we say. We want them to do our wishes. We want them to be delegates for what we want. And the reason I chose to run for local commissioner in District 1, no problem, it happened. The reason I wanted to run for commissioner in District 1 is I showed up to the county commissioners meeting last spring when they were approving the rezoning for the AI data center. And several of you were there as well. And the word had gotten around that data center was coming in, and we packed that room out in the hallway. There were hundreds of us there. I don't have an exact number, but we were out in the hallway. And the most important thing, though, is this was not one of those issues where there's people on both sides. You're going to make somebody unhappy no matter which way you go. And those are difficult choices for our representatives. It's not an easy job. Sometimes you're going to make somebody mad no matter what. But in this case, it was unanimous. Everyone there was opposed to this project. And we had all kinds of people speak, from farmers to multimillionaires, everybody in between. We had school board members speak against that AI data center. And I thought, well, voters are clear what they want. We got this. And I sat there, and unfortunately, and again, no personal attacks at all. I have no reason to believe that our commissioners, do not do what they think is best for our county. But they looked at us and they did the exact opposite of what we were asking them to do, except for one gentleman. One gentleman did change his vote. So that's what really kind of motivated me, is when these issues come up, like the Vileways facility in our neighboring county, which appears defeated for now, but Vanguard is appealing that decision, by the way. The large housing development on the north end that the Planning Commission has turned down for now, but it was said last night at the commissioner meeting that they're gonna refile that next month, I believe. But so sometimes we're able to defeat those things, but it should be all the time. And so the main thing, I know this is just kind of an intro, and I'd be glad to talk about ideas about property taxes, which I also think should be lower. I definitely agree with Mr. Kinsey on that. But the one thing I want to get out tonight is that in those times, when the voters are clearly and loudly, overwhelmingly on one side of something, you're not going to have to worry about what my vote's going to be. My personal judgment at that point will not matter. I will do what my constituents want me to do on those times. And so I just want to be very clear about that. And if I'm blessed by your vote, I'm blessed to be a commissioner for Whitfield County in District 1. But thank you for your time.
Okay, we have one more local candidate, and I want to say I appreciate y'all's patience. We've never had this many candidates, so this is very unique, but it's good. It's good. And we'll have Turning Point speak for a few minutes after this, but I'll turn it over to Rod and Diane.
Thank you, Chairman. Real quick, Diane and I are on the candidates committee, so we get 3 minutes to talk about city council. So we have exciting news. We have good news and bad news. The bad news is we're losing Nick Lama, and we thank him for his service, but he has to resign to run for Congress. So there's a special election. Fortuitously, it's been set the same day as the primary. So what makes that unusual is we're going to have a lot of Republicans voting in a Dalton City Council election, which I know is very rare. So it's very exciting. The Democrats are backing a woman who's extremely far left, who's participated in these No Kings demonstrations and George Floyd marches. We have to stop her.
And fortunately, we have a good friend here. I'm gonna let Diane introduce who stepped up.
This is my friend Z's. When I talk about Z's, I'm talking about my friend Z's Martinez right here. And I know Z's, and I've known him for many years. Know him to be a fine man of integrity and a very patriotic person in our city. He's been here for almost 40 years. He has been one of the Hispanics that started a radio with us.
1991.
Yes, in 91. He's the only Hispanic.
Was the first ever program in Spanish when everybody was listening the baseball game in WBLJ, something come out and it started in Spanish. So it was a big time for us as a community. Yes.
And guess where he's from? He's from Venezuela.
Yeah.
So he can answer a lot of your questions about what's going on there, because he still has people that he knows that are living there and living through this horrible nightmare.
And he's been involved in our party for decades.
Yes, he's been,
Yes, I started in when Mr. Trump first election to help to look for the outreach Latino community for Republicans. And last year, I did the same job, trying to help to create marketing strategies for the vote for Trump. And but when I come was in 1989, was a different Venezuela. Was a beautiful country, free country, married with the United States for decades. I was training with the United States Army in Venezuela, was Group 8 Special Forces. And when I come to United States, it was a different reason. So when I see Venezuela now, it's a destroyed country. And Mr. Trump did something that a lot of people believe was not possible to do. And believe me, it's true. Venezuela changed completely. It's a different country today than what it was. People change, mentally change. And we need to educate our community, the younger generation, to know what the communism is and what the socialism as a breach of communism do. And it's something that we need to do and quick, because this country, maybe you don't believe me, but a lot of times things happen that show me they take the same direction Venezuela did, Panama and Cuba too. So I'm in the position to work for you and the city council, and I'm no politician. I will learn. The next time I stand here, I will talk to you differently. But I will know that we need our voice as a Latino Republicans in the Congress with my friend Nikki, and we need to be in City Council so we can see a different perspective than what other countries with blessings like we have don't see. We are in a blessed land, and we have to defend that, and I'm here for that.
He owns several businesses, a karate and
Yes,
studio, he's a tax service downtown,
yes.
and he's just.
I don't like to talk about me like
I know,
the other
he's not
person
gonna
said.
tell you all the
But
great
yes,
things that
we
he's
are
done.
a family. My wife is there. The
There's
social
Liz.
media is there. And I have 4 kids, Daltonians, Americans, raised and born here.
And that I want to say,
Thank you.
he's also a minister and a missionary.
Yes, I'm a missionary pastor. We have an agency, they go to Amazon to teach the gospel to leaders in villages, so we do that too.
So he's got everything that we need for city council.
Yeah.
And we're excited to have him to be a part of the Republican Party, and he can go out there and he can promote us and to his friends, and we're excited about that. Thank you so much, City.
And I will say, the qualification for that race ends tomorrow at 1 p.m. at City Hall. As far as I know, he's the only Republican that's qualified. If that is the case, we're prepared to get behind him against the Democrat. But just be aware, if anyone's interested, they have until tomorrow at 1 p.m. at City Hall.
All right, one more thing. We're going to be meeting this Thursday at 6:30 here to work on his campaign. So if anybody wants to help us back in 2 days.
Now, without further ado, we want to give a few minutes to our special guest who came up here to talk to us, Monica Schultz. She is with Turning Point Action Latinos Coalition. She's going to
Good evening. Thank you so much for having me here. My background, I'm from Ecuador. I'm from South America, near to Venezuela. Opportunities. So we came to this country and we see the big opportunities. What do I align me with the Republicans is because we really believe in God, family, and country. That's why I am a Republican. I'm the chairwoman of Turning Point Action in WUNET, and my commitment with my Hispanic people is educated. And not only our Hispanic community, but like the community like you guys too, because you don't know how our countries are. So when Democrats were in charge, I was really afraid that we're going in a direction like Venezuela, Nicaragua, Cuba. And I've seen these days, too many people are complaining about what happened with things that people don't want to talk. But I always talk about it because it's the only thing that I can do so people can hear it out. What happened recently in Minnesota is really sad. I'm a mother, and I have 3 children and 2 grandkids. I don't agree in what happened there, because if the authority or an agent is asking us to do something, we have to do it. Yes. I do believe in that. My parents taught me better. So the first thing when I came to this country is what I have done. I have seen horrible things in my country, like I'm seeing right now in Minnesota. People like going against the authority, attacking people, attacking cars. I have seen those things only in my country. So what I want to talk about is I don't want this happening in this country, because this is my country too. I'm a citizen, and I work hard for what I have now, and I work hard for get my my papers here, my citizenship. I'm an entrepreneur. I have my kids. I taught them to work hard for what we have. We have like 4 businesses. We start with 1, then we get 2nd business, 3rd business, 4th business, and we're about to get a 5th business. That's happening again only in the United States of America, because we're so blessed being here. This is a country that you can dream and you can do it. There's no any other country to have what we have here. So it hurt me so much when I see people, even my Hispanic people, talking about that. Oh, I hate the United States. Oh, they're like behind the petroleum in Venezuela. That's not true. What I know is that wherever the United States went, especially for what happened recently in Venezuela, is helping millions of people. People is asking right now, why? Where are the political people that was in jails? Only because they thought different than they think. Same thing with the Democrats. If you think differently, they don't let you see your things that you just posted on Facebook or any other social media. So they silent people. With President Trump is completely different. So in my country, Ecuador, near to Venezuela, we were going for the same way that Venezuela was. We still have like people that they beat them up only because they raise their voice and say, I don't agree with it. They were in jail too. So right now, when people is asking the President Trump, where are these people? Where's the prisoners, the political prisoners? Well, I'm gonna tell you where. They're dead, unfortunately. They're not gonna see what people like him that is alive and they have to go to another country and leave Venezuela. They're not seeing this. They're not gonna see their families ever. Okay, where is still these people? They're in the hospitals because they were in such a bad shape on jails, only because they want to have a free country. And we have this beautiful free country here in the United States. I'm gonna say that again, and I've never stopped saying, we don't have any other country to go, only the United States of America. And I'm fighting every single day, and I can say fighting, because everybody who says something different, I'm telling the reasons why I believe in what I believe. The word of God is simple, love. But at the same time, he said it, that we need to speak out and say the right things in the way that they are. And what he says, we're gonna divide what? Families, mother and father, sisters, communities. And this is what is happening right now. Unfortunately, I have issues with my family too. Oh, how can you support this president, this horrible president? Well, I'm gonna give you news. We have immigration years ago. Nothing changed. The only thing that changed is that President Trump is in charge now, and he's doing the right things.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
If I'm saying something like that, it's not true. So, unfortunately, I always explain, we did not have a social media. We didn't have all these things that we're having right now. But I do believe if we show that we can be here and then we can contribute to this country, they give us the opportunity to be here talking and educating other people. I educate my community all the time. I don't believe that we're entitled to be here. We have to be worth it to be here. So that's why I love President Trump. And I love what he's doing. And I love that he closed the borders. I love it.
Yes.
I support our authorities. I support our immigration agents. I do support them. I do support veterans who fight, who died for having what we have now, freedom. That unfortunately not too many countries can say that they have the freedom that we have today. So this is the country that we want to leave to our families or people, or even if I would not have my children or my young grandkids, I still fight for it. Because younger people is the future of the country. And I'm so happy when I see young people running for it, fighting for it. Because this is a country that we have to be working for it. So this is the time that we have to get together and work for the elections, because they're very close to it. If we don't work hard like we were working before, unfortunately, we're gonna get back to those years that we don't wanna go back. Those years that I used just to pray and pray, God, please touch these people, touch this president, this vice president, they don't know what were they doing. They just destroying this beautiful country. And God, here not only my prayer, I believe for each prayer of you is that what we got, what we have, the new president. So I just encourage you, and I don't agree with any ideas that the Democrat Party has. And I'm gonna close with this and just leave in your mind. The only thing that I do admire from them is their unity. Yes. They work hard. We Republicans, we don't. Yeah. And that's horrible. Because we, more than ever, have to be supporting our president or candidates and make sure that they get in the place that they have to be, so we can still having this beautiful country. And we can still have the freedom that too many people die for it and fight for it. So this is my words that I leave for you. and keep praying that God is gonna do amazing things for our beautiful country.
And I have almost messed up. There's one other thing. We have two ladies here with us tonight that want to talk about a HB 350. It's the Safe Haven baby boxes. So I believe they're out there if they want to come in here and talk to us. I didn't forget y'all. So if y'all want to come on in and tell us about this bill, and then we'll wrap it up. So thank y'all.
Well, first of all, thank y'all so much for inviting us here and for giving us a few minutes of your time. I'm Amy, this is Brittany, and we are just working hard to get a bill passed through all of the House and the Senate this year. We have House Bill 350. It is a safe place for newborns, and it is just trying to get the state to amend our safe haven law to allow, we call them newborn safety devices. You may have seen them. Some people call them baby boxes. But it just allows for parents who are in crisis and parents who are unable to care for their newborn to safely, legally, and anonymously surrender their newborn. Currently, law says that they have to physically go into a fire station or a hospital and hand the baby over. And because of that, having to have that face-to-face interaction, we believe that's part of the reason that we find babies in trash cans and babies other places, because people don't want to have to come face-to-face with someone else. We're not asking for any money. We're not asking for anything. We're not asking for your tax money to pay for this. This is a voluntary program that if your community chooses to have one, your community raises the money for it. It is not, we don't want to mandate it by anybody. We don't want to do any of those sort of things that cost taxpayers. So it's not going to mess up your budget one way or the other. All we want is the line added into the bill that says it's okay to use them. Once that happens, then we don't have to worry about fire stations or parents being held accountable for something that they feel that is necessary. We have a demo box out there. It's not the same, obviously, but it just gives you kind of an idea of what it is. And we also have a flyer that tells you all about it. We would love to talk to you when it's done. Now that all that's done, because I'm trying to stay 3 minutes. But for me, I learned about this because my daughter is a pediatric nurse, and she was actually on the receiving end of a baby that a mama had to surrender, and it was a heart-wrenching experience. And so after she explained it to me, it just tugged on my heart. And so this is our third try. We tried it in 24, we tried it in 25, and we're gonna do it in 26. All we're asking from you guys is that you please reach out to any of your elected people in the House or the Senate in the state of Georgia. We don't care about the federal government. We don't care about them right now. I know y'all do. I'm sorry. That's not where we are today. We need our Georgia House and our Georgia Senate to move this forward. So if you can just give them a call, send them an email, whatever you want to do, and just say, hey, I support 350. That's all we need from you at this point. Brittany has a little bit different story from me. I'm going to give her a minute and a half to tell you her story.
Yeah, so I'll just share a little bit. I saw a comment over here that someone said that people don't surrender their babies face to face, and that's not true. That they do, but we do know a lot of those parents want to be anonymous when they surrender their baby, because they don't want to have to walk up to somebody and say, I don't want this baby, or I can't care for this baby, I want to surrender my rights for him. So my story's a little different. My son is a safe haven baby. His biological mother did surrender him when he was just hours old. So there are parents who do surrender under our current safe haven law, but we do know there are parents out there who don't have that courage, and one of the most courageous things that they can do is know that they cannot take care of their baby for whatever reason that may be, and there are people out there who will love that baby and give it a wonderful home. So yeah, we just ask that you just learn about HB 350. If you don't know about it, come see us. We're out here at a little table, so just come see us, and that's it.
I'm full agreement with them, so let's remember 350. Let's keep that in mind. I also think we ought to ban abortion fully in Georgia. A couple announcements. February 12th at Carpet Capital Event Center from, I think it's gonna be about 7 to 9. We're planning on having a debate/forum with as many of the congressional candidates that can make it. It's gonna be sponsored and hosted by the 14th District and by us. That'll be, again, we'll get more info out. We'll send an email, we'll make a post. But this is the first thing really being said about it. February 12th, that's a Thursday. It's going to be 7 to 9 up here in Dalton. So be watching for that. And then just one more reminder, take a look at these letters out there on our sign-in table. If you support, if you support our cause against HB 211, feel free to take one. And we also have some QR codes. That's to a petition against it if you're interested. So I think that's about does it. So thank y'all so much for coming. Thanks for helping us go a couple minutes over. Yes.
Just a quick thing to all the candidates that came to meet us and speak. Thank you all so much for coming. One thing that I would love for everyone to please work with each other. I know that you're running against for the same spot, but please work with each other and represent us together. And if somebody gets it, please let's all get behind them because we gotta win this. We cannot let the Democrats win. So I just ask for please unity, and that's what I'll be praying for.
Let's give all our candidates a round of applause. Good night.
There are a few more things left on the table.
I'll see you everywhere now. It's good to see you. This one spot for the legs. Yeah. You also got a very limited players. I'm gonna say you also got that picture called our Sarah. Oh yeah. I want to see what have you got? Is it blackmail? It's blackmail.
Positive on in my voice.